What up, everybody? What is going down? We got another episode of Silver Screen Breakdowns. My name is Alex.
Hey, man. My name's Chang.
Yeah, and this is going to be one of the first episodes where, might as well change the name of this one to do mushrooms and watch movies with your friends, because that's what we're going to be doing. Pop some mushrooms. About to be watching one of the funniest movies of at least of my childhood and growing up. Cheech Chong's next movie.
This movie has a lot to do with why I am who I am.
And you said you haven't watched this movie in a minute, right? Since the VHS days?
Yep. And then just I tried to find it. I couldn't find it nowhere. So I'm just like, you know what? Because it's so crazy. I just remembered the fuck out of this movie so much. You know what I mean? It's one of those ones that I revisited it a gang of times as a child. A quick little side story. You remember the black box?
Yep.
So we had a black box. And,
well, explain that to maybe some people who aren't our age who don't know what the black box is.
So before streaming, right, we had this thing called cable, and you'd plug the cable cord into a box, and you had to pay for this box. But if you had the black box, it had all the channels, and which in this case, movie channons. And
it's pretty much it's a jailbroken Fire Stick, but it has all the pay-per-views.
Yeah, and it was cool as fuck being a kid in my household because they let me hold the remote. I had the juice, so I'm flipping through the channels, and you know what I'm saying. And I hella remember this too, man. My dad's on the couch, I'm sitting on the floor, and he's eating food. I know he's high as a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Because my dad smokes. You know what I'm saying? In hindsight, he was high as a motherfucker. He's sitting there eating a bowl on the couch, and he was a stickler for us eating on the table. So he was blowed. You know what I mean? And I'm flipping through the channels, and I pass a movie, and he goes, "Oh, go back, Jay, go back." They call me Jay. I'm a junior. You know what I mean? "Oh, go back, Jay, go back. That's a good one right there." And he's like, "Oh yeah," it was Cheech Chong's next movie. Yeah. And it was the part where they're filling the gas up, which is where we're probably going to take it to. So maybe that's a cool segue. But I just remember laughing so hard. I didn't even smoke weed. I was probably 8 years old, 9 years old, maybe. You know what I mean? I just thought it was so funny because my dad's laughing so hard at all the funny shit, and it was you know what I mean? Just the conception of stoners at the time was embodied by our uncles, Cheech and Chong. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. And that is going to get us into the first scene. So for those who don't know, Silver Screen Breakdown. So what we do is we break down some of the best scenes or the scenes that we like the most in this movie, and we pretty much watch them together. So if you're not listening on the podcast, go to ssbpod.com, go subscribe. And if you're not watching it on YouTube, go over to YouTube, Silver Screen Breakdowns, and go subscribe over there. Some of these scenes may get cut out on YouTube, but they'll be there on the podcast. But either way, we're gonna have some fun. And here we go with the opening scene.
Light up your tie sticks.
Light them up.
Bullshit.
And it's funny too, because after that scene, what do? They immediately, because now that the clothes is all messed up, he's like, "Oh, I know where I can get some free joints at," and that's where they introduced Donna.
No, not yet.
No,
it's someone else. We don't have that scene. Some white girl, some white blonde, and
the white chick. That's right, because she's working at an acting class or something.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's a movie studio.
Yeah.
So Cheech he just walks on, and people know him, and there's this Red Hulk comes up. He's like, "Cheech, what door am I supposed to run into?" And he's like, "That one." And then he doesn't even. Then he makes him run onto the wrong set or something.
Oh yeah, he's like, "Which wall am I supposed to bust through?"
Cheech is working on the movie or something.
And it's funny because that's just they typecast a lot. You know what I mean? So, of course they had his type of gear over there. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. He's like, "Come on, go give me something from wardrobe. I love you so much. Come on." He's like, "I ran into a house and I saved this burning baby."
That's right. He comes in with the whole drag. Oh, he was running so much drag like he was. Hey, he's funny. Just like he was running drag about his work. Listen, man, the place will fall apart without me, man. They need me over there. He's like, man, you should get a job. I've almost had one for more than 6 weeks.
and he's like, man, this is the 5th time I'm going to be late, and it's only Tuesday. Like, when does his work week start?
I gotta say something real quick. So just after introing this movie and getting a little backstory on Chong, just so far what we saw, right? What's crazy to me is because I actually lived that life of like, you know what I mean, allegedly selling dope and this, that, and you know what I mean, and the shit's legal these days. And what's crazy about that whole thing is just how he foreshadowed it right there. Now we're going back and revisiting it in hindsight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that shit's
and
how he was like, whoa. And he was like, if it goes legal, I'm already ahead of the curve, basically, is what he was saying. You know what I mean? That's just, it's kind of
these
tight,
other
man.
guys. These other guys aren't going to know how to do it, and I'm going to have like a legit job.
And like, I was more Chong than Cheech, if anything, because like, maybe I had a little bit of Cheech isms in that sense where like, a lot of the jobs that I had as a wee tyke, most of them were like those temporary jobs. You know what I mean? It'd be like 3 months, or like it'd be like 2 months or two, type of shit. You know what I mean? Through them little agencies. You know what I mean? Because it always made me wonder, man, like how motherfuckers they stay working, keep getting all these different jobs. And I was like, oh shit, they doing the temporary shit. You know what I mean? I always got a kick out of that, because especially when you work at those joints, they attract a certain type of individual too. Like, man, usually those individuals will buy dope. You know what I mean? So it's like a double whammy, like going to the jobs. You know what I mean?
And Chong's the man. You see him, he's like, Cheech is like, you should get a job. And he's like, what? He's like licking the joint. So what the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about? I got a job, man. What's your job? Rolling dope? It's good, steady work.
Right? You know what I mean? I really love the dialogue too, just like the style. I don't know anything about who the filmmakers, right? Or the director.
Chong directed it.
Chong directed it. Okay. Man, that's brilliant, bro, because I really dig like the Tarantino-esque long, lengthy dialogue before I ever saw a Tarantino joint, even. You know what I mean?
Right.
Before you get what I was like, look at it, just riding in the car, just that
building
whole conversation.
The whole story of like the whole movie, like just riding in the car for a minute.
Yeah. Like it's kind of tight. I mean, it's LA, it's an LA thing too. So maybe there's a certain tonality to the style of, you know what I mean?
And I'm sure it is not just a Southern California thing to roll up some joints or roll up some blunts and get in the whip and start driving, Allegedly that happened a lot of years ago with this.
Yeah, hell yeah. This fucking what did he say in one of the other movies? And he said, why? Well, it may not even been this one, but he's like, why the lowriders drive with the he said they drive with the little chain steering wheel. He said, why? He said, so they can drive with handcuffs on. That might even been this. That sounds like a Red joke.
Well, I remember Red. He was like a little bit later. We're jumping forward. He was like, "Hey, Cheech still wearing those little funny hats."
Yo, them low riders will never change, man. Oh shit! What you got for us next on this next scene, man? Because this is a classic right here we got going.
So Cheech, I don't have the scene with Cheech, going to the movie theater, going to the movie studio or anything. Not really worth it. But we come back to when Chong gets home. So we don't know whose car it is, we just assume that it's their car. But yeah. I got the part where he rolls up to the crib and we find out it is not their car.
The neighbors join me.
Here we go.
Literally.
Oh yeah. Oh man. And it's so funny because maybe I was just always smoking and lighting up during that part, but I didn't notice that he killed the roach and then packed the roach.
See, and what's crazy is as a kid, I remember, when you're a wee tyke, at least for my case, I was very intuitive. I already would know things that's going on, hence intuitive. But when I didn't know something, I get to questioning it. And I remember asking him, like, why is he putting the bug in the pipe? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my dad just laughing, he was just dying because he already knows. My dad's seen it already, so he knows what's coming.
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, when I'm a kid watching it for the first time, I'm laughing because of the physical comedy of Chong right there, while he's just choking and his eyes is rolling back. But yeah. But the part to me is when he finally gets his shit together. You know what I mean? He's like, whoo. Then he hits that shit again. You know what I mean? He likes that motherfucker again. Oh, shit. That shit's funny as a motherfucker.
Because I know we've all been there before, you know, whether it's a bong or a pipe or maybe a fat blunt or something like that. You're dying, but you finally collect yourself, maybe take a little swig of water, and then boom, right back at it.
Hey, you know what is funny too? It's not just realized Scary Movie kind of they did a play on that. Remember that shit where they're all smoking a joint in the first Scary Movie?
Yeah.
And then that motherfucker starts foaming at the mouth and he dies and shit.
Like, pass that shit.
It's kind of a play on that, right?
Yeah. I mean,
you know, Chong's choking it in the motherfucker.
Damn near
like,
dying.
Right, let's go again. Let's do it again.
Man, and it's just so crazy.
While
like
I'm smoking an actual roach.
The neighbor, though, like, man, like, I wonder how much shit he actually endured from these guys over the years, because they do seem like the neighbors from hell. But I mean, I'd be wanting to smoke with them, but they might have to come to my house because their house is trashed.
In my version, you know, the neighbor used to have like a luscious head of hair. And but he'd been living next to them for so long that he didn't stress and lost all his hair even. You know what I mean? And you know what I love the most too is they just fucking his little roses up too.
Didn't even care.
Fucking his shit up.
He's like Stanley from Friday. Just seems like that guy. Can you get off the grass, please?
Right? Just a motherfucking. And I love how their house is just a fool with it too. Like they have the bike in the house. It's missing the back wheel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, that's probably why. I mean, obviously they needed gas to get somewhere in the beginning, but it's like, you know, hey, you know, I need some gas, man, for my bike. You know what I mean? He's just revving that shit. That's just funny to me. I don't know why that's so funny to me.
Because it's just so random, you know, like it seems like a real California thing to do, you know, like you don't have a lot of space, you know, to do stuff. You just do it right in your living room. You get the extended pipe so you don't get the fumes inside the house. You get it to go right into the
right to the neighbor's yard,
right into his plants,
right? The plants that he cares so much about, just fucking his shit off.
Oh man. And then so I got another funny scene here. We just got to keep sparking this up with these funny ass scenes, but one of the funnier scenes in the movie where Chong is just rocking out on the guitar like nobody's business.
But hold on. It's because he's so high off. This is the scene. This scene that you're about to play is in chronological order right after he smokes the roach.
Yeah.
And he's super blasted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And apparently it's not the first time. You know what I mean?
I assume that nothing that Chong is doing is for the first time, at least in their world.
This is just his schedule right here.
This is what he does, man. This is his job. He's got to take Cheech to work, you know, to start the day. Got to roll some smoke, you know. Got to go hit the bike real quick. Make sure he does fresh. Got to smoke and hit the roach tin, and then it's on to the guitar. One of his passions, Chong. I mean, he was a music guy before he got into any of this comedy or anything like that.
He had a band, man.
Hell yeah.
They were called the Vancouvers.
And they were from Vancouver, right? They're from Canada.
He's from I think listen, you might be able to fact check me on this, but they had a deal. It might have even been with Motown. But like, you know what I mean? You know, obviously they came to the States and then, you know, he just ended up in LA somewhere along the way. Because the music thing didn't really pan out, you know what I mean?
And I'm almost positive that it was Motown because I remember Chong being on what's called on Joe Rogan and talking about this, and I remember him talking about that. So yeah, he was it was a part of Motown. And if we're wrong and just high and on mushrooms and we're forgetting this differently, let us know in the comments. But yeah, Chong was the man. He's the man on the guitar, and so here.
Hey, listen, no, I'll give it up to the neighbor homie though, because like he's just ready to flash, bro. I'm surprised they didn't shoot his ass shit. Bro. Yeah, I mean, like, he got smashed. They probably appreciated him right there. He did them a solid, didn't scratch the slot machine up because he broke its fall. You know what I mean?
So funny, man. Like Cheech is like, so someone ripped off the thing I ripped off, man. Like,
bro, look, hey, listen, the neighbor though, the neighbor just stays getting got, bro. Fuck the
entire movie, from the beginning all the way until the end. That shit's funny. He's just a little bitch. Like, he deserves it though. I don't know what his vibe is, but it's not on the vibe that we're trying to fuck with. I know that much.
I mean, I would say we're in East LA, right? That's where they're at.
Probably, yeah.
Probably, right?
I mean, you see, they got the homeboys, who are hanging out by the car.
I'm stereotyping. You know what I mean? I mean,
old men playing spades and shit on the top of the.
Why does live there then? This is what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, he's the outcast in that neighborhood.
The neighbors shouldn't. That's why when he calls the cops, they don't give a fuck. They're like, oh, it's the crazy ass bald white dude with the roses and shit.
Yeah, we're not going down to that neighborhood anyways. Yeah, unless someone kills someone, we ain't going down there.
You ain't lying. What you got there?
That shit's so funny, and then it just goes back to back, and we're getting just right back into the next scene where they get in the van that he rolled up in, and they get out on the road.
Hey, that shit is just funny though.
So funny. Hey, pendejo! Rolling up onto their crib, knock their whole fence down.
Oh shit! Even the way, hey, listen, man, Chong is the food. Like he gets into the zone. He was in a little trance there, just rocking the whole thing. He was having a good old time. You know what I mean?
Same shit like with the guitar, right?
Because there's like his naive nature of his characters. It's endearing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, because no matter what Cheech says, he's gonna believe him.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Cheech is from the hood. Cheech is from the hood. He was just hoping that it would happen when he wasn't around him.
Oh shit, that was funny, man.
Hey,
Mendoza.
And Chong, just like when he was in the zone on the guitar, in the zone, hitting the switches.
Yeah,
wouldn't stop,
bro. Just in the zone. Amen. You just ain't nothing. Even the way he's laughing, bro, it's so crazy because watch knowing what I know now and watching it is just funny. It adds a different element to it for me.
Oh yeah, and it's fucking hilarious. I mean, the whole battle's already over. The guys are already gone, and Cheech is like, he's over it. He's not having fun anymore. He's trying to scream at him. It's over, man. They're gone. Hey, Chong is in the zone.
He's in the zone. He just listen. He's the ghetto hydraulics, man. Oh shit, the ghetto rig joint. And hey, it's crazy too. What the fuck kind of car was that other joint? Be like, it shit was like for real, like a Hot Wheel, like a little fucking toy car and shit.
Yeah,
I ain't never seen that shit ever outside of this movie. You know what I mean? And it didn't even sound like he was hitting no switches neither. The other dude, he was like hitting some type of like, it sounded like some robot airbag. It wouldn't even know airbags neither. Like, that's way before airbags.
It was pretty much going up and going down. Like, it didn't look like it was bouncing. It was like it was just going
just like a trying to do like a transformer thing. Like,
yeah. He failed.
That shit was like a busted Autobot. You know what I mean? It was like Autobots roll out. It's just geeking.
Especially Cheech, like, started, that's those high as you could get it up, man.
Hey, hell of a mustache, man.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, that type of mustache is back now.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you know what I'm talking about? The late 70s, early 80s porn star mustache is in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And guys like Cheech, they just made it cool.
I seen Marshawn Lynch recently, bro. That motherfucker had a crazy ass 70s mustache. They all got it now.
Hey, it's just easier, man. Easier to keep it that way. All right, we're going right back to back when they're just literally the next scene when they go to Chong's sister's house and what happens afterwards. All because he hit the bumps hella hard and made him spill the pee all over himself.
He legit just borrowed some soap probably so he could wash some clothes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's like, oh, you know what? I'm about to fuck with him.
we can go all the way back to the first Cheech and Chong where he's like, fuck a Rolls Royce, I'll just get a Volkswagen and I'll have the Rolls Royce, you know, like head plate or whatever the fuck that was.
Mm-hmm.
He's just that type of guy. Like, he doesn't give a fuck.
And then, like, hey, he's like a tree. He's like, listen, I don't want to be responsible for turning you a drug addict. He's begging on straight fiend mode. He's straight knock status. Like, listen, hey, listen, man, just don't stop being so chicken shit, man. Let me just smell it, man. Come on, let me just. Oh, he knew he was gonna do it too. He was like, "Yep, all right, here we go." With his whole ass face in that motherfucker, man.
Just smell it. Just smell it.
Oh man, he was like, he thought, hey, he's a dirty vato too. He was like, first he realized, like, oh shit, it's some stuff. Oh, shit.
And Chong is dying laughing after he gives him the pee twice.
When he drinks the pee and then he goes back and hands it to him the second time.
Well, the first time it was his fault. He just grabbed
Yeah,
it.
because he grabbed it from him.
Don't drink that, man.
He grabbed the pee from him the first time, though. Oh, man. With the goddamn... the bubbles was a nice touch too. That was good.
Oh, so fucking classic, man. Like, I mean, I don't know if Cheech deserved it or not, but being an asshole and just speed with the bump.
It's just karma, bro.
It is right back. And now one of the funnier scenes. I mean, just it's because it's low key the way that everything's playing out. But now they make it back to the house. We don't know what happens after they make it back, but we know the next morning, and that's where we're at right now. At least we still got welfare, and then that's where they go down to see Donna. But before we go, we just got to talk about that. It's so funny, man. Chong is just such a savage. Cheech already knows. It's the boss calling. Come on, man. Answer the phone. Just tell him I'm not here. He's like, come on, man. I'll give you my last stick of Thai weed. And, of course, that's what's going to move him.
If you rewatch that part of the scene, he never says don't tell him nothing. He just says, hey, come on, man. That's my boss. Pick up the phone, man. That's all he tells him for real.
Yeah, it's me assuming and all of us assuming, that's why you tell him to pick it up, to not give me the phone.
Yeah.
I'm not here.
But he just, that's all he told. He's like, he took it real literal. Answer this for me, man.
And then right after he gets reamed and right after he gets fired, and Chong, hey man, where's that Thai stick?
I love it. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Your word is bond. You know what I mean?
He never deters from the plan. The plan is just to get more weed.
Right?
Because he's trying to hit the pipe already and there was nothing in it. So you already know that's his mission. How can I get some weed?
Mm-hmm. Anytime to get him to do something too.
Yeah, got to bribe him.
Like, are we? So is that a segue to the next clip?
Well, not yet. We're jumping a couple clips ahead, so we can explain what happened here a little bit.
Read already, because he'll do. Cheech will do. I mean, Chong will go on any mission if it's for the tree. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, first they got to go to the welfare office. Go get some money. Nice. So I don't have that clip. I just figured it's something we could talk about real quick.
Oh yeah.
And really just because Donna comes out. I mean, a lot of nothing happens during that. A lot of physical comedy, but nothing really that gets the story.
You got, if I remember correctly, Chong, he's waiting in some type of waiting room with other individuals waiting on their numbers to get called.
Yeah.
And like it's the black dude from
Police Academy.
Police Academy. There it is, bro. The dude that does the sound effects and shit. That shit was tight.
And you don't know what anybody else. You could just, I mean, it's a welfare office, so you're assuming, just lower walks of life, things like that. And It's like the old man is like just cracking up listening to the dude's like sound effects and shit. Like no one says anything. Like he's just doing all these sound effects and just one after another. It's like he's just fucked up. Like, and Chong is just like, what the fuck is
He's
going
tripped out. Chong
on?
is tripped out off the whole scene. You know what I mean? And the whole time, not only is Cheech trying to get some feria away from Donna, right? But you know, he's trying to get busy too. You know what I mean? He's like, he's trying to take her down real quick. She's like,
What?
I'm at work. Hey, he don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shake it, don't break it.
Oh,
and he's like, she's like pointing, and he's like, you want to go around the world with both of us? You know, like she can't hear what he's saying, but they're just the goofy as hell, man. They're just funny as fuck, just fucking stoners.
Oh man, you're right. It's like the writing is genius to me. I don't give a fuck. It stuck with me since I was a kid, so that's a winner. You know what I mean?
And of course, you know, they get caught. Someone comes in on them when they're making out. Like, who knows what they're doing? Because she's still, I mean, still got all their clothes on and stuff. Comes up. She comes up. I told you were going to get me in trouble, man. And then they got to get the hell out of there. And when they get back to the house, that's when Cheech gets a phone call from Red.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know who Red is. But
apparently he's trying to curve his cousin Red. You know what I mean?
As soon as he says, he's like, Dwayne, who's Dwayne? And then he's like, oh, hey, Red.
Yeah.
All disappointed that he answered the call.
Yeah. And like, you know, but what's crazy too is like he doesn't even really know that his cousin is really the truth. But he's, you know what I mean? But he sees this as an opportunity to send him away.
Yeah.
Send Chong out the way so you know what I mean? So he can have the house to himself and get some fucking love from Donna. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so I flip-flopped it around. So the first call that they get is from Donna. And then like he's like, hey man, you know, can't you go see a movie? Like, isn't Gaga getting gooey or something? And he's like, I ain't got no bread, man. And then the next call comes in, and then it's Red. And then same thing. He needs Red said he needs some money, but Cheech doesn't tell Chong that. And he's like, yeah, go hang out with him. He's a Texas oil millionaire, man. Guy loves to party, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And somehow, and Chong, I mean, they don't have a car or anything. I mean, the van got jacked. The neighbor is watching them, you know, so he probably can't go get the car. So he rolls up on a Harley with someone. He's riding bitch on the Harley.
A YMCA type vibe, dude.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, who was that dude? I feel like that dude was in like the Naked Gun or something.
He might have been. I have no idea who that was, and he's trying to get Chong to go hang out with him.
Leslie, what's his name?
Leslie Nielsen.
Was that
totally? I mean, I don't think that's him, unless that's a super younger version.
But he had like the look of a young Leslie Nielsen, right?
Yeah, a skinny younger Leslie.
In my memory,
Nielsen.
yeah, had the hat with the little sleeveless joint. He rolled up with it. Was he slapping some YMCA?
It was, yeah.
Okay, or maybe some Macho Man.
It was some Macho Man.
Village People. I'll say that.
Yeah, there you go, Village People. Yeah,
there.
It was the Macho Man that they were cruising to.
And then Chong just kind of oblivious to everything. He's like, thanks, man. Like, you know, and he's like, you know, the dude's totally like, listen, man, I'll give you a ride. Oh, that's just so funny because that's like it's so pre-PC war America. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Like this
was just obvious where stereotypes, you know, existed, and people are okay playing into those stereotypes, especially in movies.
Yeah, like this whole movie. But see, here's the thing though, is like maybe you could even say because of movies like this that were kind of showing how shit really was, that created stereotypes. It's like a chicken or the egg type of joint, I guess you could say. You know what I mean? Whichever. I digress.
And so Chong, he rolls up in this hotel. I don't know what hotel it is, somewhere in Beverly Hills or Hollywood or some shit.
It's definitely maybe maybe I'd say Hollywood, because Hollywood, you know what I mean?
Yeah, not Beverly Hills. This is more Hollywood.
This is grimy. Yeah.
Hollywood ain't all glitz. Yeah, and I don't think Beverly Hills has like $30 a night, you know, stuff or whatever it was. And he thought it was $30 a week
Yeah,
And
which was,
so,
I mean, 30 a night was real grippy back then. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah. Plus,
hell yeah.
he got hella tree in that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yep, and yeah, and Chong, he's like trying to convince Pee Wee Herman, like, hey, you can't let him get the key, and we'll get his stuff, and then then we'll come down and give you the bread.
Right? And he's like, no, not having it, bro.
If it's another 20 minutes, it's gonna be another 37.50. He's a
And
fucking asshole.
he's like, first of all, Chong, bro, Chong wanted to kill this motherfucker.
Oh, he was about to.
He was like, listen, let me kill him. And that's when he breaks it in on him. He says this, and he's like, let me kill him. He's like, nah, hold on, bro. I got hella tree up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's like, I got some weed up there, if you know what I mean. Or I
And
forget
it's
what
like, cling. It just, you know what I mean? He's like, oh, word. Because that's what he's been looking for this whole time.
that's his whole mission. Just find some weed, and then all right, here we go. And that leads us into our next scene where they're trying to figure out how to get into Red's hotel room. So they climb up the fire chute, and they end up in the wrong room. This is one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Watch the girl in there, okay? Just pay close attention. We'll talk about this a little bit afterwards, but so funny. Here we go. How'd you get a name like Ching? You don't look like a Ching. Man, so fucking stupid. So fucking stupid. And did you notice how the girl really thought that was part of the whole thing? That she's like throwing her titties out, don't touch me. And
yeah, she thought it was the fucking. Hey, you know what's so funny too is as a kid, man, I didn't realize, man, he found a little rubber. Had a little rubber in that thing, man. And you know what's funny too is like he was terrified. Oh my god, they're hippies.
Yeah.
Yes, bro. Like you gotta remember too, during this time, they're only about 10 years removed from the Manson family being like, where they kind of like they made hippies look really fucking bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And yeah, so he's like freaked out. It's like she was freaked out in the beginning, but then she thought it was all part of like whatever fantasy.
That was like a happening.
Yeah. So that shit was
touch me, touch me. Hey, it's so crazy because I didn't realize that till you pointed that out right now. Actually. So I thought she was really just really overacting. Like she thought it was like about to be like a whole like gangbang on her.
Yeah. And,
she was clearly a hooker. She's clearly a hooker. You know what I mean?
I don't think so. I don't think she was a hooker. I think that they were just weirdos and just rich white people who bought a hotel.
Hooker when I was a kid, and I always thought he was like maybe like a politician or something, because like when they first come in, he's talking about like, oh, I didn't do anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because that's, I don't know. Maybe, I guess that's what's dope about it. It's open for interpretation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we have no idea. I always felt that they were just a weird ass couple, and they had to go out to hotel rooms to get their little freak on with their puppets and shit. And she told him, get the glove, get the glove. If the glove don't fit, it must quit.
I see, but here's why they say she's a hooker and he's probably like a somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because like, why are you ducking off into them little hotels then? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, that's what I'm saying.
There's definitely
I digress because I'm going down the rabbit hole for no reason.
It's definitely a seedy part of town, that's for sure. And man, we're just gonna go right into the next scene, like literally right after that, where they end up in a massage parlor somehow. And with all this Deshaun Watson, stuff going on with massage parlors, you already know that this was one of those places that Robert Kraft, Deshaun Watson, that they may have been, patrons of.
Everybody in that joint getting domed up.
And here we go.
Don't tell me Deshaun Watson saw this movie, man. Like, listen, man.
He thought he could just go in there and act like Red.
It goes down.
He's like, man, these guys are doing way freakier shit than me. I just carried my own towel.
That shit is crazy.
Man, Red is a fool. Like, he is a fool. It's hilarious because, like, yeah, he's in Hollywood. He's wilding out. You know, he's not in the country with his hogs anymore. He's around a whole bunch of titties, and he
I
can't
love
control
that.
himself.
In one sentence, he described his cousin Red, right? Like, he's from Texas. Whoop, whoop. That's, you just know that he's from the South.
Yeah,
So he comes through, and it was funny because obviously it's Cheech playing him, right? For those who didn't know, right?
Spoiler alert.
Right? And what's funny about that too, because that's his interpretation of some like a Mexican from the South, right?
Totally.
That's just hilarious, man.
I almost forgot one of the funniest scenes in the movie. So this is right before where Chong and Red meet up. It's they're having a little jam sesh, in most of their movies, they have some kind of jam session or something where it's like the band hanging out. And this is their spot. And I know you guys remember this song, the Mexican American song. Oh yeah, let's so classic. Let's get into it. You gotta get the hell up out of here. And see, that's what's funny about Cheech is because like he's like the classic, like shoot your shot a million times, and like it doesn't even matter because like with someone like Donna, who's like been around the world a few times, that's her whole character. But like Cheech doesn't fuck around. Like you already know, he's going after the skins. That's all he wants.
Mm-hmm. He wants to laminate.
I was just thinking about you.
With Chong in the background,
screaming beaners like fuck.
Oh, check you though. Yeah, man. I like you, man. But I wrote my own version, man.
So, I was listening to your version and I wrote my own.
A little more rock and roll. And so dope though, because he was hitting that mariachi type guitar type joint prior to that. You know what I mean? He's just a real talented guitarist for real though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's what's awesome, getting to actually mix it in, in certain ways. And I mean, that's why they always have different bands that they got going on. Like Chong's the man on the guitar.
Well, in true shroom fashion, right? That was so that was like in Pulp Fiction type shit right there. So, you know what I mean? Because this is what put him on a mission to getting him up out the crib. He has also got a phone call from Red where he was like, okay, cool. Actually, was that the first phone call? Yeah.
No, Red. Yeah, that was the first one, and then Red was the second one.
Yeah. No. So the first one, oh yeah, that's why he picked it up. He thought it was Donna.
Yeah.
And then it was Red. And he was like, oh, what's up?
Who's Dwayne?
Like, oh, what's up, Red? The whole demeanor change. But yeah, so let's pick up back with Chong's adventure with Red. Red's my favorite character in this whole movie.
He's a savage. And yeah, so now we got Chong and Red. They left, the massage parlor, and they brought one of the girls. They brought one of the girls with them. The one who was tied up, who had to wait for him to roost. He never cock-a-doodle-dooed, and she was still tied up, and they rescued her.
That was so fucking weird. Because then, like I said, I ain't seen this since I was a kid for real, like a lot. You know what I mean? And when when you're like, yo, the dude's sucking his own dude, he's doing the. And I'm like, oh shit, that's what that was.
I mushroom epiphanies,
right? The dude was sucking. While the broad is tied up, he's like, and what's funny is like, because then he's like, holy sheep shit. Hey, Chong, you gotta go see this.
And they start giving him a round of applause. Dude's all hella embarrassed.
And then, that shit just comes into play why he's just a crazy dude. Hey, careful with this radio. It's a radio.
Yeah, that's Red.
You know what I mean? He's just carrying this motherfucking radio around for a reason.
So I don't have a couple scenes, I have a scene that's a couple scenes up in the movie, but they bounce, they're with the chick, they jump in someone's car, they don't even know who this girl is.
It was not a valet, I think.
No, they jump in someone's car. I forget exactly how it happened, but they end up going to Charlie's house, the cock-a-doodle-doo, the rooster. And
yeah, he's tripping.
Yeah, because it's the girl, it's his mistress.
Hold on, they jump in the car and they get her high. They get everybody high. Remember?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
So not that part yet. So they go to
Oh,
the
we're not
house.
there yet? Okay.
They go to the house. And then they meet the old lady, and all that, and she's super goofy. And I just want to laugh. I just want to laugh.
That's right. They
And
show up at Charlie's crib.
And she gets all excited and sees him, Charlie, and then it's like, what? He shits himself.
Oh.
Immediately shits himself.
Oh shit! He's with the hip, and she's with the hippies.
Yep. And so I didn't get the scene where they're smoking on the way. I got the scene in the comedy club because that's like the epic part.
Yeah.
Out of all this, but when they're on the way there, and like I mean, they call her grandma, because she's the next generation up, like after them, but she's getting all high, smoking the fat doobie, and she's just carrying on and smoking. It's like, hey, don't hog it, grandma. Red's telling her to be hogging the shit.
Man, she was burning. She was burning down.
She was on one, and so they go to the comedy club. Let's just call it the Comedy Store. Like that's probably what this is like playing on. Especially back in the day where you might have a guy like Pee Wee Herman just randomly doing stand up before he was like famous.
Pauly Shore's mom's joint.
Yeah, and then it comes full circle with Pee Wee Herman because I mean he got thrown in jail. They're laughing at him and they take off with all the shit, and they didn't pay that extra $30 or whatever they owed him.
Right. Attica. He went straight for the Attica. I've never seen that movie, but I know it was Pacino.
Yeah. So
Was
here we go. When they make it to the Comedy Store, oh yeah, and both Red and Chong end up getting up on stage. It's classic. So that dude just gave him the car. He thought he was the valet, and he said, "Man, forget that weed. This dude just gave me a car."
Oh shit!
That whole everything.
Oh, and that's why he was like, "We'll go to my joint." He's like, "We want some more weed." I go to my fields.
Yeah, it's like, that was just the tops of one bushel. That's it.
Oh, that shit's funny, dude.
Man, just that whole thing. And so yeah, the whole joke was I'm gonna turn this glass into a piece of fruit, and does the whole thing and puts it like his dick, and he's like, hey, ain't that a peach? And Chong just totally butchers the whole joke. I'm gonna turn this glass into a dick.
Oh my god, that shit had me dying. Turn it once. See, that's right. At the dinner, we're like, see, turn it one time, spin it around again, twist it again, and then a peach.
Man, and Red just got them all. He's got all the zingers. Got all the zingers. Great big old wet donkey balls. Oh man.
Oh, for those that don't know, though, it's like they legit just like they're like song and dance men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't quite like stand-up comedy, but it was like a whole show. You know what I mean? And that's what before they got into the movies, that's what they used to do. You know what I mean?
That's why a lot of this is just like skit to skit, type thing. It's going along with the movie, but all these are just like little skits, little comedy skits within the movie, and a lot of it's physical comedy. And I mean, Cheech, I mean, he was classic at that.
When he's playing Red, he's a fool with it.
Yeah. So Cheech is gone for a long time, and it's so funny. I'm about to bring up the scene where he like falls asleep, but it's hilarious where he's like waiting for Donna. It's like, man, come on, bitch, and like he's being such a hard ass and so pissed.
He's ironing everything.
He's like, man, if she don't show up in 5 minutes, I'm just gonna have to wait longer.
Oh shit! Is that where you got that from?
Well, no, that's when I say it's from Ace Ventura.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, that was another one though, Cheech. And so here we go, dude falls asleep waiting for her, and then goes into the whole.
You even keep that in just to show you how real it is on Father's Day. This is Father's Day edition, by the way. Happy Father's Day, my brother.
Yeah, happy Father's Day. Best way to end Father's Day, doing mushrooms and watching Cheech and Chong's next movie.
Yeah. It was funny too because that was, and then the person that was calling me was the icon. Actually, was hitting me.
Nice.
Yeah, he always hits me on the way home from work.
Nice.
He's a late nighter on the East Coast. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, because he's late than a motherfucker. But yeah, let's rock.
Here we go. So yeah, we're all the way at the end of the movie here, and so we see Red. They take off in this car that they think they were just gifted, and now they got to go back and get some weed. You know, they go back to Red's house, go try to get some more of them bushels of weed, and they get into a whole car chase and craziness. And there's been many stories and plot lines where people, you know, were abducted by aliens, or you knew someone, or any, you know, just in these different movies, they actually made it to where they do get abducted by aliens.
Yeah.
And the aliens grab the weed first. Like, that's the funny part. You know, I imagine that Devin the Dude just trying to live. That intro where it's like, this is Zeldar from the planet Zeldar, and like, we want your weed and all that shit. I assume that it's the same guys who just invaded Cheech and Chong right now.
I mean, shit, bro. Hey, he is from Texas, right?
Yeah.
Devin and Dude, you know what I mean? Red, he's from Texas.
It's aligning.
Relation here, man. The aliens, bro, they knew they got to fuck with Red. They just showed up. You know what I mean?
Found the fields.
I didn't have nothing to do with that.
Man, he was so excited. He's like, man, let's lose him, man. And then Chong, he's so frightened. Chong is so frightened when that's going on. Red hits one corner real quick, and then they lose him. So that was too easy, man. Let's let him catch up again. Let him get real close. He's such a fool.
Oh, man, that was great.
He's such a fool. Now, we got one more scene, one final scene to take us off after they're abducted. And, yeah, it's just the next morning. So let's fire them up for this one. Last scene of the movie. Such a great movie. Fucking love it. Here we go.
Oh,
Hey.
That blew his ass into outer space.
Right? Hey, try this space coke, man.
They gave us some space coke, man.
Oh, that movie was good. I ain't gonna lie. That shit was
well, yeah, I'm curious to see what people think about this. We pretty much watched along with the whole movie here. Hopefully, we'll be able to get away with putting a bunch of this on YouTube. But yeah, this was fun. I mean, this is what I envision this whole podcast, you know, really being is watching movies and getting high. Maybe we'll mix in mushrooms every now and again. And
I think I've been on mushrooms every single one except for the draft day.
I like it. Well,
yeah,
I'm gonna have to catch up.
Yeah, hey, I guess Silver Screen Breakdown signing off.
Hell yeah, we're getting the hell up out of here. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you click the link. Go donate. Go become a sponsor of the podcast. You can do it for as little as $5 a month. Go show some love. Help this podcast grow, because we got big plans for this movie podcast.
Give that movie a 38 on the fucking what is that scale called? The C-
on the THC scale.
Yeah, whatever. What do they call that though? There's like a real term for that, but yeah, we'll go with that.
The cannabinoids, the cannabinoids scale.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 38.
Man, you're shooting it short, man. I'm giving it a 42.0.
Oh, we can go that high? Okay.
I mean, for some, I mean, you know,
I'm gonna give it a 40. And you know what? I'm gonna stick with my 38. I'm gonna hold my standards high. That's really good. You know what I mean? At my standards, that's really good.
Yeah, this just blows it off the charts. That's what this does for me, because this is my favorite Cheech and Chong movie. It may be one of my favorite stoner movies, you know, just in general.
For me, that's the one because it introed me to, and like, even when I went back and started like, you know what I mean? I went because of that one, I went and rented like Cheech and Chong, Still Smoking, and fucking Nice Dreams, and you know, and just none of them. I mean, they all had their moments, but this was the one, bro. Which one's the one where Cheech ends up naked and he's on the elevator? He goes from like the balcony to the elevator and like.
Oh, that's Nice Dreams. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's some moments. You know what I mean? There's definitely some moments that were just hilarious. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, the comedy. It's a comedy. It's the literal pioneer of stoner movies.
Yeah.
I got that right? That's got to
Oh
be.
yeah, hell yeah. I mean, still smoking. I mean, nobody was
What
nobody
is
was
still
making
smoking?
nobody was.
Oh,
I'm not. No. Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke. That was the first one. I mean,
yeah.
nobody's making weed look cool back then. I mean, they're doing all this, in the
What was
70s,
Up in Smoke? 70 something?
70 something.
They took it to Hollywood. Yeah, because next movie was like, that was already the 80s, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Up in Smoke was 78. Next movie was 80.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro.
Nobody's making weed look cool, back then. Like, I mean, they're rolling those fat ass, doobies and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a part of life, obviously they make them look like kind of like scummy, guys or whatever. And, like there are some people who are living like that, but they played into the whole East LA, vibe for sure. Like with Cheech and Chong, Chong's just along for the ride in Cheech's world is really what it is.
Yeah, and Chong's a dude, like he's just from, I mean, what's crazy is like, because he's a Canadian cat that he's a musician, and you know what I mean? And that's really baked into the character of Chong. Like it's really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really just him. And he was probably just hiding the motherfucker the whole time because he's really intelligent. You know what I mean? But like, playing, that's obviously part of the role. Like, playing the fucking, it's Cheech and Chong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Chong's the sidekick. It's really Cheech's show. And but that's what's so funny because I mean, especially in this one, I mean, Chong really steals the show with a lot of stuff. Cheech is obviously the main dude, and then it ends up being Red, played by Cheech.
Yeah, played by
who's
Cheech.
like the main dude, and that's probably what makes it, just the range of characters for Cheech because
I mean,
so
they
funny
got a
playing
shitload
Red.
of movies, bro. Like they did so many fucking different movies too. Like they did the Corsican Brothers.
Yeah,
they did all kind of. I remember there was a joint there that had like two blonde bitches with them. And they were like, they were like driving to Vegas or something.
yeah.
And they're on like peyote or whatever, like some like I forget what it was, bro. But like they did all so many obscure shits outside of like the main like Cheech and Chong flicks.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Born
but yeah,
in LA.
then, what was dope too is, man, I remember just renting those VHSs because the covers were dope too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the covers on the motherfuckers were sick. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. And got my Cheech and Chong shirt on
Yeah.
now. Got the buds on. And yeah, and I mean, I was talking to Vanessa about this before. Like, I wonder, because that first album or whatever that they came out with, when they first got their skits on an album, it came with that like ounce rolling paper. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder how many people like actually rolled up weed with that, versus.
Well, if you watch, okay, this is actually dope right here. Shout out to Schoolboy Q. Schoolboy Q does an interview with Nardward. Also, shout out to Nardward. And Nardward likes to give people gifts and shit for like, because he just studies the people before he interviews them. You know what I mean? So he's interviewing Schoolboy Q. And he says, "Oh, you have a lot of Cheech and Chong references. So for you, I want to give you a gift. Here's one of Cheech and Chong's first record." And he says, "If you actually pull out the record, you notice that the record sheet." The record sleeve is made of a zigzag, and he rolls a whole thing of it. So he does the whole interview because it takes him the whole fucking interview for real.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fat ass roll.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah, but yeah, check that out.
Hell yeah, that's fucking tight. Yeah, so we have no idea what movie we're going to be doing next. I mean, we had to pay homage, to the crew of Cheech and Chong before we dip into any other stoner movies or anything like that, because this was one of the ones that set the bar high. It set the bar high for others.
And it pioneered this thing.
Hell yeah. Because, we got Half Baked. We got, what else? Pineapple Express. I mean, there's so many other ones. And it all stemmed from these dudes right here, from Cheech and Chong. They're definitely the goats in the 420 scene in Hollywood, because nobody else had the balls to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. We're getting the hell up out of here. And we will see you next time. And make sure you tell your friends about the show. We appreciate it. Peace out.